gave me pointers. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'll ride this help desk job to
Yeah.
whatever. Like as far as I can talk to all these people, I think I'll
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah.
Um, and that's when Tunde was like calling me. He just started Splunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just started Splunk. He's like, I'm doing this thing called Splunk. I don't know if you've heard of it. I was like, nah, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
He's like, is like, a doorway. It can get you to IT security because
Yeah.
I'm working in between security and all of that.
Yeah.
He's like, I know this. I have this friend, Sai. He does Splunk.
Yeah.
He teaches Splunk. Like, I can introduce you to him.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I don't really care. It's IT security. It's IT.
Yeah.
Cool. I was already coming to Atlanta for his sister's wedding, so I told him, I was like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just going to take this risk. My plan was I bought a one-way ticket. I was like,
That's crazy. I didn't know that, bro.
oh, I bought a
Yeah,
one-way ticket.
I didn't know that.
I was
Yeah.
like, once your sister's wedding is done,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stay
here.
and learn.
Yeah.
So whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. Hey, what up, fam? This is Levy, host Afric in Tech, where we're building bridges and shaping futures in tech. On our episode today, got my guy, man, Tike. Been trying to get my boy on the pod for a long time. This is his first pods. He's been supporting me through a bunch of other things. Went to his wedding last month. Was it last month or was it this month?
It was last month.
Hey, dang, bro. Time flies, man. So I'm really excited to have him on the pod today, man. We kind of grew up in the Splunk world together and just kind of been growing together just in general, man. So proud of everything you're doing first and foremost, bro.
Thank you.
So really enjoy. I'm going to enjoy this episode a lot, man. So
I appreciate you for having me.
For sure, man.
It's a long time coming.
Yeah, man. So what I generally do is just tell people to give the audience like a brief overview about themselves. Nothing too technical, just who you are and stuff like that, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the most part, well, my name is Tike. For those that don't know me, I grew up in Nigeria for the most part. Half of my life was in Nigeria, the other half here in America.
Nice.
I've kind of been around like different places, mostly in Philly before, coming down and settling down in Atlanta for the most part.
Okay. When did you get here?
I moved to America when I was 16.
Okay.
I moved here in 2009.
Gotcha.
Straight out of high school.
Yeah.
First things first, college.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight into college.
Okay. What was that process like coming here?
It was a weird process. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
So I finished like high school, like let's say like May.
Okay.
Around that time to I think a couple weeks before our final exam, my dad had like, come into my room. I was like, oh, you're gonna, be taking the SATs.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, no problem. I'm already getting ready for like our final year exam. And then I took the SATs and then, didn't really think too much about it.
Okay.
I was planning to go to school in Nigeria.
Okay.
But my dad wanted me to come to America. My sister was already here.
Gotcha.
So I was like, you know what? I will apply.
Yeah.
I'll apply to. All I know is I didn't want to go to the same school with my sister. That's all I know. I didn't want to be in the same city with my sister. I didn't want to go to the same school with my sister.
Yeah.
And my cousin was the other person that I knew here too as well. He was in Philly. He was going to Temple University. So I was like, all right, I'll apply to Temple.
Gotcha.
That was the only school I applied to.
Okay.
A couple months later, I got a letter back from them. They accepted me.
Nice.
And my dad was like, I don't know if I want to let you go because you're too young. I can't really trust you going on your own and stuff like that. So my sister kind of like convinced him, and then I packed my bags and I went to like, I think with Nigeria, you have to get like the student visa and all of that.
Gotcha.
I got like my student visa. Let's say I got my student visa on a Monday.
Okay.
I was in America by Wednesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a quick turnaround, bro. Dang.
Oh yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was really quick. Everything was moving very, very fast.
Yeah.
Like December, like sometime in December.
Yeah.
I was in America like 2 days after school started in January.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
What's the adjustment like when you got here, bro?
It wasn't too bad. Honestly, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I think the snow part was the only, like the only thing that was throwing me
What's
off.
this?
Bro, listen.
Especially Philly, bro.
So now I still have PTSD. I'm never gonna lie to you. Tonight I still have PTSD with it.
Dang, bro.
But it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I was coming here as a kid. But usually during the summertime.
Yeah.
Maybe one time we did like spring.
Okay.
So it wasn't too bad with the adjustment. And then having my cousin here too, that is like a big brother to me, it was kind of easy for me to just like
in Philly. That's where you come in.
In
Okay.
Philly.
Gotcha.
So he was still in Temple at the time when I came in. So it was easy for me to just like dive right in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Dope, man. And where's your sister at? Because you say you don't
want
to
My sister was in Chicago.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So majority of my family are there. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to be there.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So you got here, and then what was the adjustment like for you? Like, what are things that you had to do to kind of get adjusted? Coming
I guess the way I was talking, and then some of the slangs and or is it lingo or that you say was a big difference. I used to have like, and the age thing was a big problem too.
Okay.
I didn't really understand the whole concept of, they made it such a big deal when I got here that, oh, like, you know, how can you be 16 and being in college? So that was a big deal for them.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I got that a lot.
Yeah.
And I got noticed a lot because I looked very young. I looked very, very small. So it was weird. It was a weird transition, but people kind of like accepted me pretty quickly. Yeah,
that's dope, man. Yeah, I was just talking to Clinton about this on his episode where, and this is no shade or anything like that, but back in Sierra Leone and also, you know, back in Nigeria, like the schooling and like the subjects, like they grilled us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was like really tough.
Terrible.
Like coming here, it was like a cakewalk.
Yeah, it was.
Like when I came in, I had to regress back 2 grades because I was well advanced, but for my age, I couldn't go forward. They said I had to go back. And it was the same thing with Clinton. So I'm surprised at 16. That's why to go to college. You see that nowadays more often, but we've been doing that for a long time, and you know, back in Africa, man. So
you know what's crazy? I had friends that were younger than me that graduated from.
That's crazy, bro.
So I know
15 or 14. That's crazy.
I had a friend that was 15. I had one that was 14.
That's crazy in college. That is wild, man.
Like it's pretty tough. Yeah. I know in my dorms, I used to have people that are always like, you know, what are you doing in here? There was a time that a cop stopped me. At 7-Eleven. Because in Philly they had like a curfew for minors. Yeah. And he was like, because I was in my pajamas, it was like past like midnight. And I couldn't get something real quick. Yeah. And the cop stopped me and it was like, what are you doing here? I'm like, what do you mean? I go to school here. He's like, no, you don't. I was like, no, I promise you, I go to school here. Yeah. And I had to show my ID. I had to like go get my passport.
That's crazy.
Like it was tough. Yeah. It was tough. But you know, I made friends with all of them, so it kind of like grew on me.
Yeah. That's kudos to you, man. I think you know, kind of sidetrack a little bit. Also, like your interaction with the police, like that's good because I know in America that's been you know, it's been a tragic, you know, past that a lot of people of color have had with police. Not necessarily that's across the board, but the fact that you're able to interact on your own with police and still, you know, well, I don't know. Did you have any like bad encounters?
Oh yeah, I did.
Okay,
I feel like I did.
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
Oof. I can say there's this one that actually still sticks with me till now. Okay. There was a moment, I think this was I was 19 at the time. It was I remember very vividly. It was the Mayweather fight. I think Mayweather was fighting Pacquiao or something. Okay. So my friend was like, oh, let's, you know, go to the corner store and get like, you know, some drinks for the people in the house, you know, like boys in the house, chilling and stuff like that, watching the fight. Yeah. So we went to the corner store.
How old were you again?
I was 19.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 19. Okay. So we went to the corner store. He picked out like a couple of them. At the time, Mike's Hard and stuff like that. Yeah. So he picked it out from the fridge. And then, you know, we're waiting to pay. And then somebody was at the counter, and then a drink fell from the counter. So I was like, oh, you know, you dropped something, and then I put it on the counter. Yeah. And I stepped back to, you know, with my friend. Yeah. So he's like, oh, thank you, and all of that. So my friend paid. We're walking out of the store, and then a guy approached me, and he's like, oh, show me your ID. I'm like, well, I don't know you. Like, why would you say that?
Oh, he's an undercover guy.
Yeah. And he was like, show me your ID. Like, I saw you buying liquor. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I was just like brushing off. I was doing the walk. He's like, and then he stepped in front of me again. I was like, yo, I need to see your ID. I'm like, why would I show you my ID? Yeah. I don't know you. Right. He's like, and then he brought out his badge. Gotcha. He's like, yeah, I'm a cop, blah, blah, blah. I saw you buying liquor. I was like, I wasn't buying liquor. Yeah. Like, the stores have cameras. And I pointed out to, I was like, the stores have cameras. You can even watch it back. Yeah. And my friend was like, this is harassment at this point. Yeah. And my friend grabbed his phone and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna call my lawyers.
Yeah.
And then he snatched my friend up and put him in cuffs.
Because he's trying to call
He
his
was,
lawyers.
yeah, he just snatched him up and put him in cuffs.
Wow.
And then we're going back and forth. And I was like, wait, what are you doing? Like, I don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
the cameras are literally like in the store and outside of the store. You can
Right.
see that I'm not buying liquor.
Right.
And we're going back and forth, going back and forth. My friend was in cuffs. And he was still trying to fight, like, you know, I'm gonna call my lawyer and stuff like that. So me, I was trying to like reason with the cop.
Right.
And while I was reasoning with him, another cop came. And he was like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And then he told the cop that my friend we were trying to run away. That's why he put my friend in cuffs. And I was like, "Oh, that's a lie." And then the moment I said that, he shoved me to the car.
Wow.
And it was like, if I keep talking, he'll put me in cuffs and we both going to jail tonight.
Wow.
And I was like,
this is the same cop that.
This is the same cop.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the same cop. So I was like, man, that's really funny. Like, I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Yeah.
So he was like, you know what? His friend was like, you know what? I'll talk to them.
Yeah.
He went to like down the street a little bit because there were other cops there. And then he came back. He's like, I'm gonna give you a citation. You're gonna have to come to court.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Wrote me the ticket. Then his friend let my friend out of the cuffs.
Yeah.
So I took the ticket. We went home.
Yeah.
I got an email from school, from campus, campus department.
Yeah.
I've been summoned to court.
Yeah.
Because whatever happens off campus, you still do court on campus.
Yeah.
So I went there, explained everything, wrote like a letter. My friend even came with me, wrote a letter. School dismissed it.
Yeah.
But I still had to go to court in the city.
So you had to show up twice. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
One for school and one for the actual court in the city.
Yeah.
So I went there. My friend came with me. The judge called us up.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, yeah, what's going on? Like, your minor buying?" I was like, "No." I explained to him everything.
Yeah.
The cop didn't even show up to court. That's the crazy part.
Well, they're already throwing it out when you don't show up. Yeah.
The judge was like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" Like, and he just threw it out. And that's how I went back.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anything like that in my life.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Man. Well, I'm sorry you had to go through that. I'm glad I asked you that because I was just about to be like, "Oh yeah, you didn't have any bad experience."
Oh,
but,
I had multiple in Philly.
Yeah.
But I mean, it kind of shapes who you are.
Right.
And I'm glad that nothing, dangerous or happened to us.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
A little part of me too is also happy that happened to me because I've seen that, that aspect of that type of life.
Yeah. How can it? Yeah. No, that's.
How about you? Has anything like that happened to you before?
Yes. So in high school, me and my friend were driving in a car. He's from the Middle East, and Mohammed, and not necessarily with liquor, but we were driving, and the cop pulled us over, and then he was like, "You guys were." I forget what it was. There was some traffic stop. I think whether we didn't stop at a light or that we did a rolling stop, whatever it was. And he basically said that, could we search the car? And I was like, no, you can't search the car. And this wasn't because like I knew like all my rights. I just knew that was like the answer because we didn't have anything. Yeah. It was just like, what'd you stop us for and all that other jazz. And he started asking us like, do we have any like guns or anything like that? And then he looked at my friend and he said, do you have any bombs or anything in the car? I'm like, bro, what? Hey, yo. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, hey, so I'm like, bro, bombs? Like, come on, bro. Like,
that's crazy.
Where do where you getting at? And then he's like, no, I have to ask these questions. I'm like, no, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, I literally looked at you looking at my guy next to me, and then you ask if we have bombs and stuff in the car. So, from a racial discrimination standpoint, like that to me was it triggered me the wrong way. But I had other instances like that through undergrad and grad school where I dismissed a lot of it. Sometimes when they look at you the way you dress, because I like to wear like sweats and hats and stuff. I never really like dressing up in like suits and stuff like that. But because of what I was wearing, oftentimes I was targeted because they're like, hey, what are you doing here? Blah, blah, blah. And then when I start talking, they're like, oh, we're just wondering if you were, a student, blah, 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 if you belong in this area. So to me, part of it's, my background education, I guess the way I spoke deterred them. But then also the other parts, like, it doesn't have to get there. Like, if there's nothing that's suspicious about me, outside of me wearing the clothes that I'm wearing, why are you stopping? Why are you asking me questions? But it's, to me at the time, I didn't really think about those instances as like, discrimination or anything like that, or profiling. But the more and more I started seeing like the Trayvon Martins and George Floyd's and things like that, I'm like, man, that could have been me at any point in time, bro. So yeah, I'm fortunate, I got to where I'm at now and didn't go through any like violent encounters. But I also know that there's quite a few of my friends who ended up going through some of those things, and I think one guy actually did end up dying in Gaithersburg recently. I didn't know him too well, but I knew he was from my high school. But it's things like that where I'm hoping things change for sure.
Oh wow, that's tough.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a little close. I mean, that's, if you know the person or you went to school with the person, that's kind of close.
Yeah, and there's been a few others. Part of it, I think, is the system, but then the other part is like it's also you as an individual have to recognize that if the system is not necessarily built to support you, there's things you have to do to kind of compensate. Because the same thing we had to do back in Africa, right?
Yeah.
So cops are just as bad and ruthless.
Oh yeah, they are.
back home, they
It's
they stop
terrible.
you for nonsense stuff. Even when you go back now, for those who've never been to the continent, bribery is rampant in West Africa when it comes to like they stop you like, hey, is your license good? Is this fake license? What do you mean is this fake license? My God, you can see this thing.
Mike, I think Mike, when I was talking with my friend Mike, he had come back not too long ago, like when he went for Christmas.
Yeah.
And he's like, they stopped them. They're coming back from somewhere.
Yeah.
They stopped them, just a random checkup.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you guys have something in the car. And then Mike was like, the only thing we have is this bottle of Remy Martin. He's like, sorry, that would be fine. And then he did let them go.
That's crazy.
They took the bottle and then
that's crazy. Yeah, man.
So it happens. It happens.
Yeah. But yeah, at the end of that, I think systems are systems, people are people, but we learn to live and accommodate to it. Not necessarily that we should, but that's just part of like what we got to adapt to sometimes. So
for sure.
Yeah, but cool. So you're here in the States, you go through some unfortunate rough encounters. What were you studying when you were in school?
I went to school for computer science.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to school for computer science. That was my first choice.
Okay.
Coming to Temple.
Okay. Why computer science?
Honestly, I always wanted to do something with computers.
Okay.
But originally, what I actually wanted to go to school, I wanted to be a pilot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to be a pilot, but my
Nice.
dad is like, those guys are not making money. Those guys are not making any money anymore. And my second choice was computer science.
Okay.
I just didn't know what aspect of computer that I wanted to venture in.
Yeah.
And I had this guy at the time that used to work with my dad a lot with like graphic design, and then hardware and software stuff. So I spoke to him, and he was telling me like, honestly, I shouldn't do I could go electric engineering route. I'll still touch computers.
Yeah. Or,
do computer science and, I get to like learn the in-depth of, programming and just touch a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So, computer science gave me that route that I wanted.
Gotcha. What did your mom and dad do?
So my mom worked at an insurance company.
Okay.
My dad has his own business. He actually has his own printing press.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's always been a businessman from time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And where they at right now?
My mom is here in America, but my dad is in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Does he ever plan on coming back, or is he just?
He comes back and forth. He doesn't like. I don't know what it is with African fathers, but he comes from time to time. He'll come and then he'll go back. He'll stay for like 3 weeks and then go back.
Okay.
Right now he's actually he's on holiday in Canada, so I'm gonna go see him.
Okay.
For a couple days and then I'll come back.
Nice,
Yeah.
Man. Okay, cool, man. All right, so you're studying computer science. Did you do any like internships or anything like that?
I tried.
Okay.
I did one.
Okay.
But this was way maybe my junior year.
Okay.
I tried so hard. It was hard for international students to get internships.
Gotcha.
You needed to be plugged into like different communities, but the way our school was set up too, I feel like our department's heads, they had their favorites too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was way difficult for international students. They were ruling us out First go.
Wow.
Yeah. Like you only had select companies that wanted to give internship to international students.
Gotcha.
And mostly it was like you have to be in your like junior or senior year.
Yeah. Was there a reasoning for it?
No, not that I know of.
Okay.
It was I didn't really understand it at the time. You have like the job fairs.
Yeah.
So you go with your resume, what you've done,
Right.
The projects that you've done, and then they've selected the ones that they would have told you the ones that are accepting international students and the ones that are not accepting international students.
Gotcha.
So you get a chance to talk to them. But me, I didn't care. I spoke to everybody.
Yeah.
I want to know what that
like
experience was like. Whether you accept me or not, I was just like, like I'm looking for an internship. I'll take my shot.
I love that. I love that, man. Yeah, I think this is to anybody out there that's also watching this. It's really important to shoot your shot regardless.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that sort of make a declarative stance on what they do and won't do.
Yeah.
But if they hear something from someone that makes sense, they switch. They'll switch. So
for sure.
Yeah, I love the fact that you shot your shot regardless, man. Okay. So you were looking for internships and you didn't really get one. When did you start? What'd you do after graduation? Did you get a job in tech or did you do something different?
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't even graduate.
Okay.
Yeah. I dropped out my I was a senior when I dropped out.
Okay. A senior, wow.
Yeah, I was a senior when I dropped out. I still had maybe 8 classes to go.
Gotcha.
By the time my dad's business wasn't doing, as good as, it used to.
Gotcha.
So I kind of dropped out of school and then started finding my way around to figure myself out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So what was that like trying to figure out
It was tough.
Okay.
It was tough.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
it plays a lot on your mental.
Yeah.
It plays a lot on your mental. I had maybe 2-3 occasions where I was I stopped going to school and then I started going to school again.
Gotcha.
The first time I didn't really understand it. And I can't really say much because I don't want to come on my dad the same way.
Yeah.
And my sister was in school at the same time while I was in school. So it was one of those things where, she has the opportunity to finish.
Yeah.
I'm young, I'm chilling. So I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah. Give her a chance.
You do your thing and then, when you're done, then I can continue.
Yeah.
So during that time, mentally it was very tough.
Yeah.
So I was still, funny enough, I was still going to class.
Yeah.
I was still going to class. I was still taking exams.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you get to your second midterm, the professor will be like, "Hey man, you're not registered for the class, so you're gonna have to."
Yeah.
But I was still coming to class.
Yeah.
Until I'll wait until it gets to the second midterm. Yeah. Then I'll stop coming to class. But I'll still come to class.
Yeah. Bro, that's dedication, bro. I mean, that's dedication. A lot of folks, if they're not registered, if they're not gonna be in it, they won't even take the time to go learn. But that's dedication that you want to learn, you want to grow. And just financially, you may have not had the funds at the time to be able to continue. But that's dope, bro. The fact that you stuck with it. I understand
it. Yeah. I understand if you don't want to keep going to class. Mentally, it will mess you up. I'm not even gonna lie, it will mess you up.
Yeah, you get to a point where you learn all this, but then it's especially if you're interested in it, but then you can't continue.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. Okay, so you're trying to figure things out. What happened next after that?
So right after the last time I stopped going to school, I was home. I was doing menial jobs at the time, and then months went by. I was just like, I really want to whatever happens, I want to do IT regardless.
Yeah.
So I just kept on searching. I kept on searching. I found this internship. And then they reached back out to me and they were like, "Oh, we're not paying anything." I was like, "You know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever it is." I didn't have any money. I didn't have a job. So, and the internship was maybe I want to say 45 to 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Out the city.
Jeez, bro.
So I had to wake up at 6 in the morning, take the train.
You're committed, man.
I was going.
Yeah.
It was so bad that the way the train was set up, you got to buy a ticket, and get on the train.
Yeah.
I'll buy a ticket.
Yeah.
You're supposed to buy a ticket every day.
Yeah.
I'll buy a ticket.
Cherry
I'll use that ticket for the whole week. So when the train guys come in, I was just I'll take it out of my bag. Hey, I already paid. Or I'll see a seat where somebody has paid already. I'll just go sit there.
Yeah.
and then it won't bother me. And
Man.
then all I know is I'm making it there and I'm
Yeah.
making it back. That's all I
Nice.
care about.
Nice, man.
So it helped out.
Bro,
I
that's
enjoyed
a story, man.
it.
That
Yeah,
is
I
a
enjoyed
freaking
it.
story, man. Wow.
I enjoyed it.
There's so many like different things there, like in terms of like perseverance, bro.
Mhm.
Like, you know, not being able to finish school, not being able to do the thing that you really wanted to do, and then you were an excellent student because at 16 you're freaking college, bro. And then now you're looking for just an opportunity to learn, and you're willing to travel, and you're not getting paid for this.
No.
So, bro, that's tough, man. Okay, so how long did you stay at the internship?
The internship was for the whole summer.
Okay.
It was for the whole summer. I got to learn that was my first experience with SolarWinds.
Okay.
I actually helped them get SolarWinds.
Okay.
At that intern, it was a small digital company.
Okay.
I helped them get SolarWinds. So the whole summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. For those who aren't familiar with SolarWinds, it's like a tool that you can use to catch metrics, and also it can do logging a little bit as well. Just tell you how things are doing system wise. I don't know how you guys use it there, but
yeah, they were using it to like monitor a lot of network traffic at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So
man.
it was pretty cool.
Okay.
It was pretty cool.
Nice. Okay, so you got your first experience like within the tech space, and then in this summer, what happened after that?
After that, I started looking for the next thing.
Okay.
So I also found this other internship. That was also free.
Yeah.
But that was a little bit closer. It was in the city. It was walking distance.
Okay.
It was like 2-3 miles.
Okay.
But I could also take the train there.
Nice.
It wasn't too far. But they were teaching like web design.
Okay.
HTML and stuff like that,
Yeah.
CSS and stuff like that. But it was mostly like graphic design and web design.
Gotcha.
So I was like, maybe I'll learn other things while I'm there.
Yeah.
So they did like an open session or something like that.
Yeah.
So I found it and then I went there. I joined. I was there for a couple months.
Okay.
Learned about websites and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And then trying to build my own website and stuff like that. And then I tried to get like all the family members involved in terms like, are you trying to build a website? Let me, try and build something up for you.
Yeah.
But a lot of the applications that we're using were free, so you were kind of limited to what you were doing. So
Gotcha.
for me, it was something I could put on my resume that I've done.
Yeah.
And I did. So I went with it.
Bro, I mean that's honestly how I got started in tech too, because I was I was quote unquote the techie in the family.
Okay.
So I used to like build like random websites. Like my mom like, I want to build this website for this fundraiser and Sierra Leone. I'm like, okay, I'll build it. So, and back in the day we didn't have like Wix and all these other, like templated sites, so you had to build like basic HTML and CSS and stuff like that. Wow. And literally I just like I Googled my way through a lot of this stuff. So I watched a couple of videos and I just started like putting like I'll cut and paste different codes, and then W3 school, whatever it is, like I'll go there and look at like the different like examples, modify it, and then paste it. And I was the IT guy. I know to build like basic websites, but I was the IT guy. But that's how I really got started. And then I still did like cardiopulmonary for like school and all the other jazz. But then once I graduated and my boy told me about like Linux and stuff like that, once I started like learning some basic tenets and even like bash scripting and looking at some other like I looked at JS for a little bit, not too crazy, JS, JavaScript, but I was like, oh, this is similar to like kind of building like applications, building like a web page and stuff like that. But at the time I didn't really think I was techie. I just thought that I built some stuff that my family needed. So for those who are listening, like your hobby can literally, depend on what it is within the tech space, can turn into a career.
Yeah.
And it can help kind of flesh out those interests. So the fact that you started doing SolarWinds and you moved to like web design, two different spectrums.
Two different worlds.
Yeah.
Two different worlds.
It's still like learning experience, and then they're free internships, which a lot of people also ask about. It's like, there's not a lot of opportunities for me to learn and grow. There's a lot out there. You just gotta put yourself out there, and sometimes it's unpaid, but if you want to learn and grow, you'll do it. Yeah, you'll do it. So
I actually have a question for you.
Yeah, man.
When you were doing like Linux and JS and all of that, did you like programming?
So at the time, no. I hated programming.
Okay.
I hated programming. It just seemed like it was like way past my head knowledge, because some things like made sense. Like I talked about this story before in one of the reels. I was on an interview with SurveyMonkey, or is it Survey? Yeah, SurveyMonkey, and they asked me like Linux, like doing for loops. I said, for what, bro? The way the guy looked at me, he just got up and walked away. Man, I just felt so disgraced. And because when I went back and looked at it, I was like, oh my God. I was like, what did I just say in this interview, man? And I thought I knew some basic tenets like scripting and stuff. I think I did a while loop. I didn't do like for loop. I think I did a while loop. So the for was like, I was like, for what? And bro, the guy just literally just got up and walked away, man. And then after like, the embarrassment didn't hit me until like when I got home, and then I looked at for loop, and then I was like, oh my God, they probably just think I'm like the dumbest person in the world, bro. Like, and I was applying for a junior Linux admin. I knew like how to do like creating like user profiles, groups, and all that other stuff, like basic permission stuff, file mods and stuff. I knew how to do that stuff, but then from a programming standpoint, like doing like basic scripting, bro, that was something still new to me, man. And that joint was just like, it discouraged me so much. Then I was like, okay, I'm going to Splunk. I'm going to anything different. I'm going to, bro.
I feel like people in IT have one embarrassing, at least one embarrassing story. I have one similar to that.
Okay, what is it?
Oh my God. It was an internship that I had applied for. It was at Burlington Coal Factory.
Okay.
It was in New Jersey. So I took the train also out of Philly to New Jersey, like an hour, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I went there, and the guy was like, he took me, first of all, he took me into a room.
Yeah.
I was like, I was already panicking because, I've never been on something like this.
Yeah.
He took me to this room, and there was a whiteboard in the room.
Yeah.
I saw the whiteboard, and I just...
Stop panicking.
I was like, yo, I don't even know what this guy's about to ask me. I'm like, but you know what? I'm going to see it through.
Yeah.
And then he gave me the marker. He pointed to the board. He's like, I need you to write a program that does this. And I looked at him and I was like, are you serious right now? Yo, I'm like, first of all, I just started doing this, but in my mind, a lot of things were just going through. And I was like, you know what? I was like, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
And he left me in the room.
Yeah.
He left me in the room. I was like, where do I even want to start?
Yeah.
I grabbed the marker. I started writing. I was like, yeah, you don't know this thing, but you know what? I stayed there for like maybe like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I was walking back and forth. I was like, what am I going to do with myself?
Yeah.
And after I walked out. I went home. I went home. I was like, and I didn't talk about it for the rest of the day.
Oh,
I've never been so embarrassed in my life because I couldn't say anything to him.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, what am I going to do? If it's going to be like, is this really
something you want to get into?
Like something I want to do? It was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah, man. After that for loop thing for me, man, I researched the hell out of for loops, bro. I did like 30 for loops. I think the next day, bro. I was like, no, ain't no way somebody's gonna ask me how to do for loop again. I don't know how to do it, bro. Man, bro, that was the most embarrassing thing ever, man. My next whiteboard session was the next session I had, which was a whiteboard session where I did an interview, was with AWS. Actually, they were talking about doing like a distributed app. And then they're talking about load balance and stuff like that. Fortunately, I studied this time. Same thing. They said, they put me in a room. They said, hey, build a application that's load balanced across, 3 different continents. And how would you interact with the web page, and how would the users be able to, interact with the different databases and doing, geo-distributed. I was like, okay, I've never built that. But then from studying like some of the other concepts, I actually passed. I actually got a job offer from AWS.
Nice.
But bro, like because of that embarrassing story I had the first time,
never again.
Never again. I was like, I'm never gonna be caught off guard. And everything I saw in the job description for the AWS job before I even applied, I studied it, bro. Man, I was doing whiteboard sessions, everything crazy. Like, all right, if they ask me this, even though I've never done this at work, I'll make sure I know how to
navigate.
Yeah, man. That's
all those embarrassing. It will humble you.
Yeah,
but it will help. It helps.
Yeah,
I wouldn't lie. It helps a lot.
Yeah.
It helps a lot.
Yeah. So for any of you who've had embarrassing stories, it's common, and there's things that I would say now that I've learned that I tell others to do that I didn't do. I wish I did do. which is practice a lot more before you get into the workspace. Like literally do practice tests, practice exams, build servers, which with AWS and all these other platforms, they give you free tiers, and you can build applications and build different services on top of those before you got to start paying. Back in the day, I wasn't even thinking about that. I don't even know how much I knew about AWS back then. Yeah, I think I was just thinking. I didn't even know server wise, bro. I didn't even like understand what a server was back then.
So how did you learn that?
Bro, the way I Googled and YouTube, bro. There's a guy named Professor Messer. I watched probably at least 200 hours worth of Professor Messer videos. I went through A plus, Network plus, Security plus, and there's another one that he had. I don't know if you see what I said, but I went through basically all of his trainings. They were like 4-minute videos, but I could digest it really well because he broke it up into different like compartmentalized like sections. It just made so much sense, and it was just really easy for me to kind of connect with like how he was teaching. And then he would give like examples, and he drew really well. So shout out Professor Messer. You don't know who the heck I am.
So you changed his life.
But yeah, he changed my life, man. Him and Eli, the computer guy, another dope dude. Like the way Eli explained stuff was, he was just like think about this random computer dude that that just really knows everything. Yeah. Eli was that dude, man. Eli just was whiteboarding stuff, and he just used to talk about like simple concepts like with DNS, like how DNS worked. He talked about like from a security like network mapping, things like that. He just made concepts so easy. And I was like, okay. CIDR ranges, like those things that for me was like, what the heck is even a CIDR? Like, why would people even do CIDRs? But then for me, as he was explaining those things, like, oh, okay, this makes sense now. Because when he put it into like practical terms, if you have like multiple different computers, how are you gonna like label the range and things like that? So that to me was like, oh, now I understand when he talks about like a network, subnets, things like that. So those guys like changed
you to like these people, or you just found them on your own?
Bro, back in the day, there was no ChatGPT, there was none of those things. So I had to like I had to Google a lot of that stuff, man. Yeah, I went to YouTube a lot, and I just finding different folks that worked. And nowadays, with a lot of contents out there, you have a lot of the stuff around Splunk, and some of the other stuff is more Indian, I guess, producers or whatever, or engineers that are making these videos. But back then, it wasn't a lot of like Indians that were making a lot of the videos. There was a lot of like Americans that were making the videos. So it was easier for me to find content. But right now, if you Google like, let's say cloud servers, it's going to be a lot of Indian videos. So, and I know a lot of folks, they struggle with that, from the accents and things like that. It's a little bit harder. And same thing, like, if you aren't familiar with like different, accents within the continent, it might be harder for you to relate.
Oh, for sure.
But my hope is that we start creating content like that for
other people to be able to
for other people to be able to pick up on.
So I kept on applying, and then I got another job, another help desk job, and another company.
This was in Philly.
This was in Philly, Five Below. I don't know if you've heard of Five
Below.
Yeah,
the story.
Yeah. They were looking for a POS engineer. Okay. I didn't even know what that was.
Wow. Okay.
I had no idea what that was.
Yeah.
I went to the
This
interview.
was a help desk POS engineer? Hold on. So is it a help desk job or a POS engineer?
It was technically it's help desk, but it was a POS engineer.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's help desk.
Yeah.
When I got there, I did an interview. He asked me some computer questions.
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, have I worked with POS before?" I was like, "No, but I can learn it."
Yeah.
It shouldn't be too difficult.
Yeah.
So I didn't even think of anything of it, like if I'll get the job or not. But I left the place, and then the lady called me. Was like, "Oh, they liked you.
Yeah.
Will you be willing to take the job?" I was like, "Yeah, of course."
Nice.
So they offered me the position.
Yeah.
I started, and then I started learning about POS.
Yeah.
That's my first experience with ServiceNow, ticketing, and all of that.
Nice.
So it kind of like got me incorporated with some devices that helped me along the way.
Yeah.
And the way the company was set up, our help desk was here.
Yeah.
They had networking beside us.
Okay.
Networking department, and then right after that was security department.
Gotcha.
At that time, I knew I wanted to do IT security.
Okay.
I didn't know how I was going to get into it.
Gotcha.
So I was like, okay, while I'm here, I'll talk to other people here, to figure out like what I need to do.
Yeah.
So that's how I got the second job.
Bro, that's so smart, man.
Yeah.
which is one thing we always tell folks as well, especially a lot of folks who want to get into cyberspace, or if you want to be a developer, whichever like way you want to translate, or transition to, I should say. If you're on site, even if you're not on site, you can talk with other departments and just kind of network your way through, and just say, hey, I'm interested in doing this. I'll do this for free, and then you can learn different things. Now, depending on like the RBAC, which is role-based access controls, they can give you like admin privileges to do stuff, but you can still get user privileges to test how applications work and things like that. So, I mean, that's really dope that you're doing that. And then just for definition standpoint, POS is point of sales system. So if no one's, if you're listening, you're like, I don't know what the heck that even is. That's what it is. I didn't learn about that until like probably like 2017 when I was working with like this, I think it was it the Ghana contract? I don't know how I learned about it. No, I think it was through, I was working with, what's the name of those guys? Guy Point. I was working with those guys, yeah. Man, they had me all over. But anyway, that's a different story. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so you're doing the POS stuff, and then you started asking cyber folks like, hey, what do I do to kind of get in there? Was there somebody that helped you out there?
Yes and no. Actually, yes. Okay. I'll say yes. Okay. So I spoke to different people. I spoke to people in network. There was this really young guy that was a network engineer at the time. Nice. So I was like doing my own research. I was like, oh, how can I get to IT security? And then a lot of people were saying networking and stuff like that. Yeah. So I was like, okay, maybe I should talk to him. Like, how do I learn networking? Yeah. Maybe as a foundation. I was like, so I spoke to him. He encouraged me that networking is not that hard. There's certain books that I can buy, and learn certain things. So he would show me like a couple of things. Okay. He told me what textbook to buy. So what I did at the time was I bought a computer. I bought a Windows desktop. I had a Mac at the time, but I also bought a Windows desktop. I was like, I can use this for programming and other things. Right. So I went to our school. I was still on campus. I was still living on campus. Okay. So I had a friend that was going to school at the time. I had him use a student discount to buy me a desktop from the refurbished department where they be throwing out. So it was like $50.
Yeah. Wow.
So I bought like a Windows XP type setup. Yeah. And then I bought my networking CCNA book. Okay. I was like, okay, I'll teach myself how to do this thing.
That's good, man.
So I started messing around with it. I didn't go too far in it. Yeah. But I was trying, I started anyway. Right. But at the same time, while I was talking to him, I was also talking to people in security. Yeah. I was like, how did you guys get in security? Because I want to do security. That's where I want to end up. Yeah. So a bunch of them gave me like clues and how they ended up there. Right. And then there was this one other girl that was in between networking and security. She was doing everything. Smart girl. Yeah. I was like, oh, like, how'd you get started? And she told me, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I went to school for fashion. Yeah. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? She's like, I went to school for fashion. Like, I just learned this as a side thing, and it's taken me this far. Yeah. And then that also sparked a little bit inside of me, and I was like, oh, so this thing is actually possible. Right. Yeah. So they gave me pointers. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'll ride this help desk job to whatever. Like, as far as I can talk to all these people, I think I'll be fine. Yeah. And that's when Tunde was like calling me. He just started Splunk. Yeah, yeah. He just started Splunk. He's like, I'm doing this thing called Splunk. I don't know if you've heard of it. I was like, nah, I don't even know what that is. Yeah. He's like, a doorway. He can get you to IT security because I'm working in between security and all of that. Yeah. He's like, I know this. I have this friend, Sai. He, he does Splunk. Yeah. He teaches Splunk. Like, I can introduce you to him. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I don't really care. It's IT security. It's IT. Yeah. Cool. I was already coming to Atlanta for his sister's wedding. So I told him, I was like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just going to take this risk. My plan was, I bought a one-way ticket. I was like,
that's crazy. I didn't know that, bro.
Oh, I bought a one-way ticket. I didn't know that. I was like, once your sister's wedding is done, I'm just gonna stay and learn. Yeah. So whatever happens, happens. Yeah. At the time, Five Below was they started calling people. Yeah. they started calling people. My contract was coming to an end, so I think it was coming to an end like it was like May.
Yeah.
And his sister's wedding was May. So I was like, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just gonna pack a bag.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens. But I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah.
And then I came to Atlanta, and then that's when I met you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just gonna, see how far this thing goes.
Yeah.
And then I stayed until this place, and then just started writing it out.
Yeah. I didn't know that's how that's the route you took, man.
Yeah.
So, but that's dope. That's dope, man. Yeah. I remember when Tunde first introduced me, man, and and he said you've been doing some like tech stuff in the background.
Yeah.
You were sharp, man. So I was like, this guy's gonna pick up, stuff really, really fast. And you were dedicated too. That's one thing. Like you kept asking questions, which one thing that I knew you were gonna succeed because you didn't want to just like get the answers. You wanted to understand like how things worked. And that to me just was a testament to like you willing to put in the work to grow in the field. So first time you got your gig, I was like, oh yeah, I expected that. Yeah, that was the expectation, man. So yeah, I'm really proud of you. Where you've gotten, man. Cool. So let's talk about like now, like how things been for you now that you.
It's good. I'm really, really happy. I'm really, really happy where I'm at. Splunk has really opened a lot of doors for me. I'm not even gonna lie. And I've tried to get as much people to, that don't really know what they're doing or are looking for something like IT security. Like, like what I usually tell them is, hey, like, Splunk offers like free courses. Like, take a look and see if it's for you. I know it might not be for you. You might see something and I was like, take a look. Let me know. I know somebody that that teaches it. I don't teach it. I can't teach. I don't know how to teach, but I know someone that teaches it. So if you're willing to, he would like help you out and help you learn the thing. It will take some time, and I don't want you to feel like it's a guarantee that something will just drop. But I feel like it's a way for you to get into IT security.
Right.
So it's good. It's good. Yeah. I'm really happy where I'm at.
Yeah, that's good, man. I think for me, what I've been doing also with folks who are trying to either learn Splunk or some sort of security tool is start off like protecting your own laptop, like understanding like what's happening on your laptop. I've been doing like the little what do you call it, tech talk sessions where literally understand like if you wanted to protect your laptop and understand who's logging in, what you're doing on your laptop, things like that. If you can understand when event codes on your Windows PC, it's the same thing on another user's PC.
Yeah.
All it is the same event code, and you can start tracing those things. And jobs want to know that you've actually dug into those kinds of things. Yeah. Understand when event log, security system application, knowing how to pull those logs with Splunk, which is you have free versions of that. You can install and you can pull that and you can test and play with that for I think 60 days is the free license. And then there's a whole bunch of other open source tools. SysLogNG. You can use Terraform. You can play with Ansible, which we talked about. So there's so many different ways to kind of learn and grow. I think the other part is just because there's so much out there. Yeah. People kind of get overwhelmed. I think that to me, I think is the importance of having like a, not just a mentor, but somebody that's going to guide you and walk you through that,
it's helpful.
That process, step by step and, help you push through also the times where it's difficult, because I know there's probably some times where you thought, oh, this is crazy.
Oh yeah. I've been stuck in like some crazy scenarios and I'm like, I don't even know how I'm going to get out of this, but there's this brief moment when everything clicks and you're just like, yo, oh my god, it's like it's like chills. So you're really excited and then you're really sad at the same time,
bro. I'm telling you, man, like when you start like looking back at like what you used to question about yourself not knowing and then now you think like, dang, that's crazy how far you've gotten, man. And I remember you one point in time you had you were doing some Python script before and you asked me some questions like it's so good to see that you're doing that. It's like to me it's you're challenging yourself, you're growing in areas where it's not like your expertise, but it's like all it is just starting and trying and then kind of seeing where you go, and then sometimes revisiting back in the day if I was trying to do like JS or Go, which I don't really know too well, I don't know well at all, let me say that. I would have probably cried. I would have probably stopped them. But now, if somebody says, "Hey, I need you to understand," it's like,
I'll try.
Yeah, I'm more than willing to like dive in. It's like,
for sure.
Because now I have a lot more confidence in it. And sometimes you got to build that confidence. Just like I know you work out and you lift as well. Yeah. Sometimes building your confidence too.
You have to psych yourself a little bit.
I was gonna go throw 400 pounds on a bench press. Like, I'm good, and you have not worked out at all. So sometimes you got to build yourself up to it. And I think that's kind of what happened with you, and it's kind of dope to see where you got, man.
I think hanging around you, Tunde, and then Prince too, helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Especially
Prince,
like
man.
Shout out Prince for real.
Yeah.
Prince was one of the people that helped me build so much confidence in taking interviews.
Yeah.
Oh, I love taking interviews.
Yeah.
Like I can take interviews in my sleep.
Yeah.
When I first started, like because I didn't really know much about Splunk, so I used to write everything down.
Yeah.
So another thing that I used to do is I used to look up interview questions for Splunk, and then I'll just be writing down, and then I'll just be mastering it.
Yeah.
I'll be mastering it. I was like, okay, what if they ask me like this?
Yeah.
Like because I started just applying to different recruiting companies, and I started picking up on how they were asking questions.
Right.
Everybody was like, they might ask the same thing, but in different ways.
Right.
So, but I was writing it down. I was like, all right, cool. You're not going to get me a second time if you ask me like this.
Smart.
And then one other time, I don't know if you remember, I was like, I came to meet you to coach me on interviews. I was like, funny enough, till today, today, you're the hardest person I've taken an interview with in my life. And it helped me out a lot. Because you didn't go easy on me. You made it seem like a real interview. It's not one of those things like, oh, cool, because I know you, I'll take it light on you. You gave me a really, really tough time.
Yeah.
And I feel like nobody else that I've taken the interviews with has actually topped that.
Yeah.
And then Prince, the one advice he had given to me, and I feel like it will be helpful for a lot of people is, when you go into interviews, people are usually anxious and all of that.
Yeah.
But I try to take an interview like I'm talking to my friend.
Right. Yeah.
I try to have a conversation.
Right.
Like, so that way I'm calm. Even if you throw me off a loop, I still be like, oh, give me a second. Like, I mean, I understand, like, I try to make a conversation.
Right.
So it's helped me out a lot.
Yep.
So the moment you give me that piece of advice, I've been running with it. And interviews have been like cake to me. I've done interviews where we didn't even talk about computer.
Yeah.
We're talking about soccer.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, at some point I was like, is this really an interview? Like, because I started asking the questions.
Yeah.
So it's been very helpful.
Yeah.
Community helps a lot. I'm not even lie.
Definitely. Yeah, I think definitely a lot of points there. One of the most important is making the interview like a conversation where if you're not comfortable, regardless of what you're doing or what you're interviewing for, it's going to be a lot more difficult. Because then, things that you normally remember that like, dang, I can't believe I didn't say that. I wish I'd done this, things like that. You have to get in a space where you're comfortable, like talk with individuals. They're humans at the end of the day. They're people just like you that, they probably struggle the same way you struggle to get in the field. And now they're just trying to help you get in, but they want to make sure you're the right fit. So having those conversations and kind of making it sort of like a normal, person to person, talk about, are we the right fit? Because the other thing is, you also don't want to get a job where you're going to be stressed as crazy, bro. Where you get employers that are going to be like on your back 24/7.
Oh yeah.
Because we've been in those positions, bro. You've been in positions where you had like bad employers that like are on your back all the time, even if you're doing the right things. It's just that's just their personality style. They're just constantly on you. How did you like deal with that? Because I know that happens still a lot for a lot of people.
So I've had like in those type of situations, honestly, I try to like keep it calm. For me, like stuff like that, I know work can get really stressful, but like outside of work, I try to like, flush it out in the gym or, do like stuff outside. But in those type of situations, I try to understand where that person is coming from. And like sometimes most of the time I try to meet them there and, try to like bring us to a common ground. Some people don't really care how you feel. They'll still like try to hammer at you, but I try to make them understand like, yo, like these things that you're trying to make me do, like I still need, like I need a breather. I try to state my point as
Yeah.
much as I can, because I don't want a situation where you're taking advantage of me.
Yep.
Because the moment I let you do it one time, second time, you're just gonna keep on doing it. And then
Exactly.
at this point, you've taken it the first time and the second time, so I can't really say anything anymore.
Yeah.
So I try to stand up for myself as much as I can.
Yeah.
You also have like managers that very demeaning.
Yeah.
And
Very true.
then it's so bad that at some point when I used to do when I first started at a job or when I'm doing interviews, I try not to say my age.
Yeah.
Or or show my face as much as possible, because people start to say, "Oh, he's a small boy."
Yeah.
So they want to talk to you anyhow.
Yeah.
And I don't usually like to go for that. I don't usually allow it.
Yeah.
So it's tough. But
Yeah.
I feel like people should stand their ground more.
Oh, yeah.
And I encourage people to actually speak up more, because I feel like a lot of people are always afraid to speak up because oh, it's my manager, or it's my job.
Right.
Oh, what if they fire me? I'm like, man, you need to speak up for yourself sometimes. So it's helpful.
Yeah. And I think twofold with that is there's sometimes where your manager is right, where there's things that they're saying. But the other part is being right, and how you communicate that is those are two different things.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to be able to understand when you're being bullied on the job, and you shouldn't stand for that. No one should be, belittled in any field. And that's kind of, for me, that's what motivated me to learn so much, because there was one particular manager that used to like say things where I knew they weren't right, but I didn't know enough to challenge
him. Okay.
So because of that, man, I was like, I'm never going to be put in this position again where this person's going to say something about this specific thing. There's other things you can say that I'm not necessarily versed in, which I'm fine with, because that's not my area. But this one area where I'm like, this is it. You're not going to tell me crap about this, because I want to be really good at that.
Yeah.
So for me, that was a motivation where not necessarily to talk down to anybody, but not to be talked down to about this area. So that helped me to kind of grow exponentially, because I was asking questions, the types of questions that they were asking, which I guess hindsight, they did help me grow, because they asked me questions I never thought about in ways that sometimes it didn't make sense. I think they were just asking those questions, but it still helped me to kind of learn and want to like grow in those areas to be able to answer those types of questions. So when interviews came, it was a cinch.
It was easy.
Yeah. The other thing which you also mentioned is, I think, community. Right before this, I think that's also been a trend over the last few podcasts we've had, where people have talked about, like, I was in NASB, I was in like engineers for whatever school that they were at, some engineer community, and like us, like you came down here, and I can name like probably 10 of us here. Got Richard, Adrian, Bola, what's his name, Tunde, Prince, Solomon, which is here for a while. Solomon, Mike, Mike. We were all like learning and growing with one another for so long. Steven, Steven. And then we're all like building together. So the fact that we're willing to help grow and build with one another, to me, is like it helps seal the deal for me to say, this is kind of what I wanted to always be around. Not just people who were smart, but people who wanted to build together and grow in other areas. I was just at your wedding last month, so I love seeing that. And then, prayerfully, the 12 children will come soon. So, whatever goes his feet. So, yeah, man, for anyone who's looking for kind of ways to kind of surround yourself with community, like find one person and then just build off of that.
It helps a lot. A lot.
When I got into the game, Eric, Debo, till this day, I just met with Debo 2 weekends ago, and we talk as if like nothing's changed. And when we started 2-3 o'clock in the morning, we used to do sessions. While studying like Linux and going through Splunk as well. Like we used to just once we finished the Linux 3-month boot camp, we just stayed in the lab while all the other students went. Me, Eric, there's another guy named Al, and I forget the other. There's 2 other guys that we had, and then Debo joined us a little bit later down the line, and we all just kind of stayed and asked each other questions. and just kind of grew with one another.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, and to me, that's the kind of community we have even in Atlanta
Yeah.
now. Um, and there's a bunch more folks that we just
Yeah.
met. Clinton, there's other guys that I met along the way that I feel like as long as we continue to build and grow one another, we're gonna keep pushing the envelope
For sure.
to drive and be better, man.
For sure. For sure.
Cool, man. So we're kind of wrapping up now. What does the next 5 years look for you, bro?
In tech?
In tech, in life.
In tech, for the most part, I am trying to explore as many tools as possible.
Okay.
That's always been my goal. I just want to like, even if I'm not an expert, like I want to understand how it works. I want to know how it works. I want to be able to, do or use it.
Yeah.
I just finished learning XIM.
Okay.
I was working at Palo Alto.
Nice.
So I just finished learning XIM. So that's something I added to like my arsenal. One thing I've learned over the last couple of years is as much as possible you touch as many tools as possible.
Yeah.
It gives you the advantage, and it kind of helps you set up for your next job.
Okay.
The next job, even if, for instance, they're looking for a Splunk engineer, like, oh, he knows XIM.
Yeah.
He might be getting XIM.
Yeah.
So they kind of lump you together. Like, okay, I want him.
Yeah.
He already knows XIM, so I can get him. So that has helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
So my plan for the next couple of years is to touch as many tools as possible. Nice. I'm currently studying AWS.
Okay.
I'm trying to get the cloud professional.
Okay.
Hopefully by end of this month or next month, I can get it.
Nice.
I'm trying to learn it as much as possible while juggling with work.
Okay. That's good, man. It's good.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but
it is.
I'm trying to push through.
Yeah.
Outside of tech, I'm trying to get more involved in businesses and real estate.
Okay.
And anything I can use to basically, improve my state of living or my family living.
Yeah.
I'm trying to set up things for the future for my family.
Nice.
Especially now that my parents are more on the retired side.
Yeah.
I want to be able to, fully support them in every means possible.
Yeah. What about like back home? Because I know you say your dad's still doing the printing stuff back home. Do you do anything back home, or do you want to do anything back home?
I want to. I have a couple of ideas of things I want to do. And I know it's pretty large scale when I keep thinking about it or when I say it.
Yeah.
I want to, for instance, one of my end goals, God willing, is to actually open like a resort type thing.
Okay.
In Sierra Leone actually.
Nice.
Because I know you guys have like a lot of infrastructure set up for like by the beach.
Yeah. Yep.
I want to set up like how you have like the all inclusives in like Mexico and stuff like.
I
want something like that.
Yeah.
I want to do something like that.
Okay.
And I kind of have like a design in my head of how I want it to look.
Okay.
But by the grace of God, that's something I want to do.
Okay.
I want to set something like that. With a golf theme and all of that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I could probably link you up. There's a guy that was selling I think 2 acres.
Okay.
Morris, if you're watching this, ping me, bro. It's flatlands, but we can talk about it. Okay. But I think things like that are really important because you can syndicate. We were talking about that earlier. We can syndicate like things like that where it doesn't have to be you alone that's taking the risk. It could be a bunch of us, And at one point in time, the syndicate I'm part of, we're thinking about getting a hotel. Oh, so nice. The only thing is, like when you're building out of country, you always want somebody there.
Yes.
To be able to watch the monies and the building itself. So I think that's also the beauty of like from a syndication standpoint, especially folks who have invested in the continent.
Yeah.
You can always do a rotation. Okay, I'm going to go for this week or 2 weeks. And then your other buddy's going to go for this 2 weeks. And then you guys can supersede and oversee the project, what's going on there. So a lot of opportunities. I think I mentioned I bought, a couple of real estate there as well. So for those who are interested, definitely feel free to ping us about whether it's real estate or tech. We're more than willing to kind of partner and go that route, man. Yeah. So okay. And then the wife, what's the wife doing?
She's more in the line of social work.
Okay.
The end goal with that is she went to school for psychology.
Okay.
So she has a master's in clinical psychology as well.
Okay.
I honestly want her to open up a clinic.
Nice.
She used to do this internship where they help out with people with addiction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we can open up a clinic for her.
Okay.
Where she's doing something along that line still.
Yeah.
But also, the clinic won't just be focused on stuff like that. It will also be like a female clinic where you can have like a gynecologists and other types of people that will be there to help like ladies and stuff like that. Because I know a lot of people too struggle with medical stuff. So hopefully that's something that we can set up for people as well.
No, that's dope, bro. There's two people down here I think you should definitely meet, Sheku and Fatu. Okay. So I say they own they call themselves the traveling doctors. They're based in Johns Creek.
Okay.
But yeah, they'll be really.
Oh, that'll be dope. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
But yeah, man. So, bro, last thing, man. If people wanted to get in touch with you to either connect or maybe build a network, how can they get in touch with you?
I'm on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Okay. LinkedIn, my name is Tike. Tike. Okay. Last name AWE. Instagram, Nigekid. Naijkid. Okay. I have to represent Nigeria.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, bro.
So feel free. I'm actually pretty easy to talk to. If I don't even have the answer, like I'll know somebody that I can connect you to. Yeah. Depending on what you're looking for. Either way, we have a community here where somebody will know something. Yeah. I'll be able to plug you into somebody.
Dope, man. Yeah. I can second that. TK is one of the most down to earth guys I know. That's why we're really good friends. And we keep it real. Like stuff we know, we will help you out with. Stuff we don't know, we'll send you somebody else that may know it. And if you're willing to grow and plug in with this, we're more than willing.
For sure.
But bro, thank you for being on the pod.
Always.
All your information, if you want to connect with TK, is going to be underneath wherever you're watching this, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We're gonna have his social media handles on there. Mm-hmm. And then also look out for his whiteboard session. We're gonna have that separate from the actual interview, so look out for that. We'll talk a little bit more on the cybersecurity side, and we'll go through that. So TK, thank you, bro, for being on the pod, man.
Thank you for having me. It's really nice to be here to share everything that you've been through and all of that, especially coming from someone like you that that I've looked up to. It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Well, this is it for this episode. If you want to hit us up with any other questions about anything that's said here, you can hit us up at africansinTechnology@gmail.com. Again, it's africansinTechnology@gmail.com. My name is Levy. This is Africans in Tech, where we're building bridges and shaping futures in tech. All right, fam.